Present wrapping can be great fun, and today I'd like to show you some amusing ways to present your Christmas gifts. And the first is fancy dress style wrapping. We've got two candidates here, and here's our big bosomed lady ready for her night out in her lovely red dress with gold neckline. She's got some jewellery on, and there's her neckline again and her beauty spot. But what about this dapper chappie in his evening coat? He's rather fine. Now I know it looks complicated, but actually it's quite straightforward, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. First of all, you start off with your present, your box shape, and it needs to be square or oblong for this to really work. And then you want to cut a piece of black card the same height as the present and the same circumference, slightly longer, and then we're going to just glue that down with a little bit of double-sided sticky tape. So this is the best stuff for the job in my experience. You can get that from your local stationer's shop. It does stick to your fingers a bit, but let's sit that down. Okay, so that's side one, and then side two just over the top. So that's the beginning of our jacket. And now we're going to start work on the top. Whoops, just come off. We're going to start work on the top and bottom of the jacket. So take a pair of scissors, snip off there, and snip off there. And at the top, I'm just folding back a piece of card to give you his lapels. So there's the beginning of his jacket, and now we're going to put on some of those very fine buttons you can see down the front. Now for this we need a little dab of glue, so just put a spot on. There we are. And a few sequins, and excuse me for using my finger and tongue to lick that, but that's the best way to pick them up. That's number 2 and number 3. So there are his very fine buttons, but I think his shirt needs some buttons as well. So another little dab of glue, give him another 2 or 3, there we are, and some nice black sequins this time for these buttons here. You can use any colours you like, you can make it as multicoloured as you like, but I'm going for the full dress shirt effect tonight. But what about that rather smart bow tie sitting at the top of the shirt here? Well, that's just a piece of red corrugated cardboard that I bought from a local craft shop. You want to cut yourself a little strip, fold it in half, and take a sharp pair of scissors and cut off both corners on the diagonal. Just get that off his shirt, open it out, and there's your bow tie. So I'm just going to put that on with a bit of double-sided sticky tape, just to make sure that sits in position. Put it on the top of his shirt. There we go. And I think he deserves a few little gold spots on his bow tie. So another little bit of glue, just dab that around. Don't worry if the glue oozes a bit, it will dry clear. And excuse my fingers again, there are a few little gold spots just going on. Actually, it's given me an idea. You could do a wonderful clown, couldn't you? So there we are. And to finish off, he's got a little rose in his pocket. Well, for this you need a strip of black paper, and I'm going to put 3 bits of double-sided sticky tape onto one side for a reason you will understand in a minute. So this isn't wildly neat because I'm doing it so quickly, but you can neaten up the edges when you do it at home. So put that down for a second, and you can see on the plate here I've got some craft wire and some little beads, and I just put the beads onto the wire and then wound it round in a sort of squiggly shape just to look like a rose. It doesn't have to be perfect, so don't worry about that. And you can see the finished result here, and if I turn it over you can also see that I formed a tiny little stem, because what I'm going to do next is just take that and sit that stem on the middle piece of black paper there, see, on the middle piece of sticky tape, and glue that in position. And there is his pocket with his rose, our finished chap, ready to go out for the evening. But what about that rather glorious lady in her red dress with her big bosom and her beauty spot? Well, she looks complicated, but she isn't. She's equally simple, and this is how you do it. I've got my box here, and I've cut a piece of metallic crepe paper. I've chosen red, and I've just glued that round the bottom half of the box. And then we want to make her rather magnificent bust. So I've got a piece of pink card and I've drawn 2 semicircles, and you can see those there, and I'm just going to snip those away to get that lovely shape. And on the other side. You can obviously make this as exaggerated as you like, because it is just a bit of fun. Okay, so put those down. There's her bust, and I'm going to just stick that down with some double-sided sticky tape again. It does stick itself to everything, but I think this will do the trick. And there we are. So her bust is going into place. And next we want to make her skirt. Well, once again, I've used this metallic crepe paper, and it has a nice bendy quality to it that's perfect for the next bit, because what you want to do is cut yourself a big wide strip and then do a very loose tacking stitch all across the top, because then you're going to pull this into a nice ruffle. I just turn that over. You can see what that looks like. You can see where the skirt shape is coming from, and then just secure that around the bottom with some more double-sided sticky tape. Now, I'm not going to do it perfectly here, but you can do that at home and neaten off the edges. So just do 2 or 3 bits, and then just sit the skirt in place, and then I just go under like that. So there's her skirt, so you can see that beginning to take shape. And now I think it's time to look at her neckline. We've got here some wired ribbon. Again, you get this from any stationer's shop. I've just cut a strip, fashioned it into a sort of semicircle, and once again, a couple of pieces of sticky tape should do the job. And we're going to give her this neckline. There it is. And once again, you just neaten the edges at the top. And of course, her choker. So another little piece of tape for that. There goes the choker. And the necklace, and this is just something I got from my bead box. There it is. Anything will do. Just put that down, secure that at the back. In fact, I'm just going to trim that off because that's a bit long. So there we go. And of course, the beauty spot. Here it is, a sequin. I'm just going to sit mine in place, but you could glue yours down. And there she is, ready for the off in her fantastic dress. Now, finally, on the subject of unusually wrapped presents, what about this? Super quick. I got some corrugated card in red and just used it to wrap round a small present, cut myself out a flame and finished off with a little bit of glitter. It's an instant candle, and then just finish off with a bit of brightly coloured ribbon. So there you go, 3 very different ideas for amusing ways to present your Christmas presents. Like so many of our Christmas traditions, the giving of presents dates back to the wintertime pagan practice of exchanging flowers, candles and dolls. The Christian Church, although against pagan practices, could see people liked the idea of present giving, so it cleverly adopted the custom in remembrance of the gifts brought to the baby Jesus by the 3 kings and shepherds.